Hello everyone. Today we are going to start a very interesting course, that is behavioral finance. We will try to in this course we'll try to understand this new concept and what is its importance in today's like volatile stock markets, as the term stock markets is very popular term in today's world because everyone wants to understand the stock markets better by any way, but somehow by just understanding the technical and fundamental analysis and the chart analysis, we are just understanding only the one aspect of stock markets, and the other aspect, which is the most important aspect, that is the behavioral factors which are working the most in the stock markets, are being ignored. So this new field of behavioral finance it's a like gap filling in the knowledge of understanding the stock markets, because stock markets are basically like emotion driven. Stock markets are moved by two factors, that is greed and fear. Greed and fear are the two emotions which drive the stock market, and they drive the investor behavior also, as there are number of individual investors. The institutional investors are investing in stock markets, and when they are like not behaving rationally, the portfolio management theory is based on the concept that the stock markets are always rational, uh, which is not a right assumption, because no human being is rational at all the times. And when the money is involved, when the hard earned money is involved, obviously the investors always behave irrational. That's the reason of all the anomalies in the stock markets. We're not able to understand why the stock markets are fluctuating so much at a particular point of time, and why a particular stock is moving so much down and so much ahead, despite of no such a deviation in the earnings of a company, or no such spike in the earnings of a company. So there are the behavioral factors which come into force if we try to give a good analysis of the movement of a particular stock or the overall stock markets. So let's move towards the concept. Behavioral finance is a concept developed with the inputs taken from the field of psychology and finance. So it tries to understand finance, various financial behaviors of an investor, by understanding some psychological factors, which tries to analyze the stock markets better and understand the impact of various behavioral factors on stock markets. In the process of making financial decisions, investors often have difficulty while choosing the most economical options, because of he is having some psychological filters, like which stock is most popular. He always wants to invest in that stock, but that not maybe the always a good option. Herd behavior comes into that. Herd behavior is the main bias in stock markets. Like recently the LIC IPO came, the Zomato IPO came. All these were like herd behavior. Why these subscriptions are oversubscribed? Even an investor who is not very well acquainted with the stock market, he just tries to earn lot of money just by following someone's tips or some following the crowd. So it's the biggest bias in stock markets. It is the herd behavior. Behavioral finance can be explained as the modern finance in which it seeks the reasons of the stock market anomalies, as there are certain fluctuations in the stock markets which are not understood well. So the it has two fields: micro behavioral finance, where we try to understand the a particular investor personality and types and its behavior in different circumstances; and macro behavioral finance, how a big chunk of investors behave in a particular economic condition. If we understand the objectives of the behavioral finance, it tries to protect the interest of the stakeholders in volatile investment scenario. If the stakeholders are the shareholders know what is the behavioral bias which is working in a particular market condition, he will not be like swayed away with the herd behavior. It will protect the interest and the hard earned money of the shareholders. To examine the relationship between various standard finance theories and behavioral finance. Standard finance theory is basically based on the notion that stock markets are always rational, and on that all the stories are based. But this assumption, very assumption, is not right. Stock markets, as it is mainly emotion driven and the people are involved and the money is involved, stock markets mostly behave irrationally. So we have to understand the behavioral factors better to examine the effect of behavioral bias on financial decisions. Financial decisions mainly are the decisions which involve the emotions, in which emotions of the in particular person become prominent, because hard earned money is involved and greed comes into force when the stock markets are going up, and fear comes in when the money is being lost. So we behave irrationally when the financial decision is involved. To analyze the impact of various micro and macro biases, what are the micro biases on an individual level and macro biases on a community level? To understand, identify investor's personality. What is the investor's personality? What is his risk taking? Whether it is a like aggressive investor or a passive investor, or there are so many personality traits which we try to understand, and then try to give him different investment solutions to help analyze the risk and develop the hedging strategies. Obviously risk will always be there. We have to just take a calculated risk and then move forward. So behavioral finance tries to understand the risk better, to refine the investment analysis process. What is the process of investment analysis? Tries to refine it more by involving certain behavioral factors. So what is the difference between standard finance and behavioral finance? Standard finance is built on the premises that there is always a rationality in the markets, whereas the behavioral finance assumes that there is never a time when markets are fully rational. And strategies by investors explain whereas behavioral finance explains the behavior of the investor in a particular market condition. It is based on, standard finance is based on financial behavior, whereas behavioral finance is based on observed, that is idealized financial behavior, what it should be, and whereas the behavioral finance tells what it would be. Emphasizes on how investors should behave, and behavior on how investors do behave, thereby giving a micro and macro view of the events of the various behavioral factors. So if we try, if there is a case study which is written by myself, that is DLF. I have tried to explain the DLF's share price over a number of years. It's because it has shown the most erratic behavior in the stock market. There was a time when the stock was moving at 1200, and then there was a time within a year also that stock just moved down to 100 only. So it is not in a 1 year, even we don't know the financial picture of the company, what is wrong with that, what, nothing, nothing such substantial happened that stock moved from 1200 to 100 rupees. So I have written this case study. It was published in ICBM's International Case Conference Journal, also on managing business in Book Award. It was published in 2016. So I have analyzed the stock price till 2016, from 2009 to 2016. The topic is the overreactions of the stock markets and its implication for investor prudence. So if we